Hare Krishna devotees. So online recording is still on. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu. So shall we start, Prabhu? My screen is visible, my audio, audible,
Yes.
everything is okay. Then shall we start? Yes, okay. So Hare Krishna devotees, I welcome all the devotees to today's class. Chapter number 3, we are going to see Karma Yoga. Okay. So Karma Yoga means connecting to Krishna through karma. Okay. So that is Karma Yoga. So let's see. The chapter name is Karma Yoga, Yoga of Action. Okay. So we'll start with Guru Pranam Mantra. Om Agyana Timirandhasya Jnana Shalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manoabhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijansaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamcha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So the teachings is based on the teachings of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He is founder Acharya of ISKCON. We pay our humble obeisances unto his lotus feet and we beg for his mercy so that his teachings of Bhagavad Gita we can apply in our life. Okay. So let's summarize what we have learned till now. Chapter number 1, we have learned that mood to understand Gita should be of ultimate faith. If faith is not there, that we are not going to understand the Gita. Okay. Then observing the army by the Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana, and Arjuna, 3 people. What were the outlook of the 3 people on the arm, on the Yuddha. Okay, so we see that Arjuna was there on one side, Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra they were other side. Arjuna was having Krishna confidence. Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana they were not confident, they were fearful. Why? Presence of Krishna. Okay, then 5 reasons for Arjuna for not fighting: compassion, loss of enjoyment, fear of sinful reaction, destruction of family tradition, and indecision. So these were the 5 reasons told by Arjuna for not fighting. He is giving the reasons. Then second chapter, we have seen the Guru. First chapter was doubt, second chapter is Guru. So we have seen the Guru part, first G part, where we have seen the 3 phases of realization of Lord, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. We have understood with the example of sun. We have understood with the example of train. Okay, both we have understood in the first and the second chapter. Then we have seen that Arjuna, after putting forward of all the 5 reasons, he surrendered to Krishna. He becomes sister of Krishna, and then after Krishna started giving the knowledge. Before that, there was no conversation. Okay. Then Then second part, that is identity. So Krishna started giving knowledge with the confidential knowledge of identity, that we are not this body, we are the soul. Our real identity is of the soul and not this body. Okay, that we have seen. So two identity we have, our real identity and then identity crisis, that body part. Okay, that we have seen. And then we have seen the characteristics of the soul, the size of the soul, the different characteristics of the soul. We have learned that soul cannot be destroyed. Okay, what is death? Death is just the change of the body. What is reincarnation? After death, the body, the soul is sure to take another body. So that was the identity part. Two identity, real identity and identity crisis. Then both identity, we have two dharma. Okay, swadharma and nitya dharma. Swadharma means the dharma which is for our body. Okay, nitya dharma, what our eternal spiritual duties. Okay, like chanting is there. So we have learned that. So that was the nitya dharma and swadharma. Then last was the atmaram. A person who is self-situated, what is the symptom of the person? Okay, Arjuna was asking, what is the symptom of the person? That person is equiposed in every situation. How does he speak? How does he react to the outside circumstances? How does he respond to the outside circumstances? Okay, so he's fully composed, calm and composed. He doesn't react on the material changes. Okay, then how does he sit? How does he restrain the senses? He restrain the senses just like a tortoise restrain his senses when there is unfavorable situation. The last, where does he engage the senses? How does he walk? Krishna says he engaged the senses in the service of the Supreme. So that was the fourth thing we have learned, the Atmaram part. Okay. Now this is third chapter. We are going to discuss the Karma Yoga. Okay. So what we are going to discuss in today's chapter, the topics are the mnemonic is tree, 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 just like a tree. So first we are going to discuss Tyag or action. Which one is better? Tyaga is better or action is better? Okay. So many people are confused in today's world that we should renounce everything and we should go to Himalaya or we should be doing action. Okay. Second part, rungs on yoga ladder. We are going to see what is yoga and we are going to run on the yoga ladder. Then third part, excellent example of self-realized soul. Why the soul, self-realized soul are working. Okay. So we'll understand that. And the fourth part, enemy of the soul. Who is the enemy of the soul? We are in this world. We are the soul is in this world. What is the enemy of us in this world? So we are going to see that enemy of our soul. Okay. So we'll start with first part, Tyaga or action. Okay. So Arjuna is confused. Ekam Vada, please tell me one Krishna, which one is better for self-realization? Which one is better in the devotional life? Renunciation, like leaving all those things, leaving everything and going to Himalaya and sitting and meditating on the Lord, that is better, or action is better? Doing work is better, or leaving all the work is better? Which one is better for self-realization, for the devotional path, for the self-realization? Which one is better? Renunciation is better or action is better? What do you think? Which one is better? Action is better or renunciation is better? A is better or R is better? Which one is better? Action is better for self-realization or renunciation is better? Everyone is saying action, and yes, you are correct. Okay. So let's see what Krishna answers. So this is Arjuna's question, Arjuna's confusion. Which one is better? Renunciation is better or action is better? Okay. So now Krishna will be describing both renunciation and action, and he will tell the final answer, which one is better. So let's see about the renunciation first. So about the Tyaga or renunciation, Krishna is describing first. So let's see this sloka 3.6. Karmendriyani samyamya asate manasa smarana indriyanartha vimudhatma mithyachara sa uchyate. Mithyachari. Mithyachari sa uchyate. That person is called Mithyachari. Who? Which person is called Mithyachari? Karmendriyani samyamya. Karma indriya. Karma indriya means our senses. Samyamya means control. So a person who is trying to control the senses, karmendriyani samyamya, then asate manasa smaran indriyana artha. But his man is having asakti. His man is still attached to the indriyana artha. Indriyan artha means the object of the senses. Okay, just like tongue is there. Tongue is the sense object, but the object for the sense, tongue is like the indriya. Okay, the senses. For the object for the tongue is the taste. So a person who is trying to control the senses, but his mind is still dwelling on the object of the senses. Okay, object of the senses. A person who is trying to control the tongue, but his mind is still dwelling on the taste, like that. Okay, that person is a vimudhatma, a fool. Okay, and he is called a mithyachari. A person, mithyachari means a pretender. Mithya means false. Okay, so that person is not a renunciator. That person is a mithyachari. He says, one who restrains the sense of action, but whose mind dwells on the sense objects, certainly delude himself and is called a pretender. That person is called a pretender who is trying to artificially control the senses, but his mind is still dwelling on the object of the senses. You see this picture. This person is in the ways bhusha of a sannyasi. By outlook, you can say, but it looks like a sannyasi. Okay, that the renunciator person, tyagi. But you see this cigarette, you see this mobile. Okay, you see this person is fully attached to the sense of objects. Okay, so actually he's showing the world that he's a sannyasi, but he's actually a pretender. He's trying to pretend like a sannyasi. So this type of person is problem for both, for himself also, for the society also. Okay, so that is called pretender, mithyachari. Okay, then we have example of Bharat Maharaj to understand this concept of renunciation. Okay, so we have one story of Bharat Maharaj from Srimad Bhagavatam. So we'll try to understand this story. Okay, so Bharat Maharaj was a king. Okay, and he left his kingdom and went to jungle for the self-realization. Okay, so he started doing the practice of meditation there. He was doing meditation there. He was nicely doing meditation. Everything was very nice. But one day, what happened? One day, one incident happened, and his life changed from that day. Okay, what happened? He saw that there is one pregnant deer is there. Deer. Okay, Hiran. Pregnant deer is there, and so he's running, and there is tiger behind the deer, and the deer was running. Okay, and there came a river. Okay, so the deer jumped over the river, and the river was very long. Okay, so she jumped over the river, and while falling on the other side, she died. Okay, and she gave birth to the baby deer. So one baby deer was there who was in the water, and the mother deer has died. Okay, and seeing that the tiger also left from the other side. Okay, now the baby deer was on the water. She was helpless. Okay, so Bharat Maharaj saw, and he went, and you can see he went, and he started he took out the baby deer with him. Okay, so he started taking care of the baby deer. He was doing his sadhana also, tapasya also, as well as he was taking care of the baby deer. Gradually he started thinking, is the baby deer all right? Every time he started thinking about the baby deer, he becomes so much attached to the baby deer. Next picture you see, he's becoming too much attached to the baby deer. So he forget about his sadhana. He forgot about his sadhana. He started doing the baby deer, baby deer, baby deer. Is the baby deer happy? Is the baby deer eating well? Is the baby deer sleeping well? Okay, he becomes so much attached to the baby deer. And at last, when his time of death came, baby deer was there in front of him, and the baby deer was licking the face of Bharat Maharaj. And Bharat Maharaj was so attached to the baby deer. He was thinking about the baby deer. What will happen after me to the baby deer? Okay. So he died that way. And next life, he became a baby deer because he was thinking about the baby deer all the time. His consciousness was so much attached to the baby deer that he became the baby deer. He became a deer, not the baby deer. So he became a deer next life. Okay. So he was so much attached that he became a deer. So that was the story. He came to jungle for self-realization. He's totally diverted from his position. Okay. How? You see, no one should remain unoccupied. So these are the takeaway from this story. No one should remain unoccupied in any way. Okay, our mind is always active, our senses are always active. We should not be remain unoccupied in any way. We should be engaging our senses, our mind in something, some work. Okay, it should not be remain unoccupied. And what a renunciator, what a tyagi does, his mind is unoccupied. His mind is open. Okay, unoccupied. Second, association is very important. Fall down can happen anytime. Okay, if association is not there. Okay, so thing is, association is very important. We practice the devotion in association. Okay, otherwise fall down is very very easy. We see outside world everywhere. You see that the problems are only there. Okay, we see. So when association is there, then only we can practice the devotion. Devotion is meant to practice in association with the devotee. Okay, we get bodies as per our karma. Whatever karma we does, according to that next body we get in our next life. Okay, just like Bharat Maharaj was so much attached to the baby deer, he become a baby deer in next life. Okay, attachment to family makes one forgetful of death. So he was so much attached to the baby deer, so much attached, he forgot his primary aim of life. Primary aim of human form of life is to understand about our real nature. Our real nature is of soul, not this body. And we should be dedicating ourselves to the Supreme Lord. We should be attaching ourselves to the Supreme Lord. So that is our real nature. Okay. So attachment, too much attachment to the family make one forgetfulness of death. Death is very important. What is the importance of death? We'll discuss in 8th chapter. So we'll discuss 8th chapter, what is the importance of death, how we get the body as per our karma in 8th chapter, the trans, when we discuss the law of transmigration. Okay, so these are the things, takeaway messages from the story. So that was the one thing. So Krishna first told about the renunciators, a person whose mind is still dirty, his mind is still attached to the object of the senses, and he is trying to artificially leave everything. That is that person is a pretender. Then he told, then we have learned about the story of Bharat Maharaj, where no one should remain unoccupied. We should be associating with the devotee and then practicing. Okay, so that those things we have learned. Now about the second part, that is the karma. So what about karma? So Krishna tells, so first Krishna told about the renunciation. Now Krishna is telling about the action. Yastav indriyani manasa niyamarvate arjuna karmendriyah karma yogam ashaktasha vishishyate. Vishishyate, vishesh, that is vishesh, that is important, superior. What is superior? Vishishyate, which one is superior? Okay, karma yogam. Karma yogam is superior. So Krishna is saying, on the other hand, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses by mind and begins karma yoga in Krishna consciousness without attachment, he is by far superior. So Krishna told first about the renunciation. Second, Krishna is telling about the tyaga or action. Krishna tells action is far more superior. Action is far more superior. But which type of action? The action which is done without attachment to the fruits of result, fruits of action. Okay, so that is far more superior. Okay, so things we have learned till now is action is better than the renunciation. Okay, but which type of action? Krishna described again in this sloka, which type of action? Okay, action is better than the renunciation, but which type of action? So Krishna says, Yagnartha karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tad artham karma kanteya mukta sangha samachara. Very nicely Krishna described which type of work we should do. Yagna artha, we should be doing work as a yagna, as a sacrifice. Okay, we should not be doing work for ourselves. What will happen if we are doing for ourselves? Lokoyam karma bandhana. Yagnartha karmano, we should be doing work as a yagna. Anyatra. Okay, what will happen if we are not doing? Lokoyam karma bandhana. Otherwise, it will cause bondage to this material world. Okay, let's see. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. So Krishna told work has to be performed. But which type of work? Krishna tells as a sacrifice for Vishnu. We should be working as a sacrifice for Vishnu. We should be giving up the results to Vishnu. Okay. Otherwise means if we are working for ourselves, we are not working for Vishnu, then what will happen? Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Okay. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duty for his satisfaction. And in this way, you will always remain free from bondage. So Arjuna was asking, action is better or renunciation is better? Better. Krishna is telling action is better, but action should be performed in the mood of renunciation. Okay. Action should be performed as a sacrifice for Vishnu. Action should be performed for Vishnu, not for ourselves. If we are performing for ourselves, work only will cause bondage in this material world. If we are performing for Vishnu, then that work only will cause our liberation. Work can cause both things. It can cause the liberation as well as it can cause bondage. If you are working for ourselves, it will cause bondage. If you are working for Vishnu, it will cause liberation. You see, therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duty. Whatever prescribed duty you have to perform for his satisfaction. And in this way, you will always remain free from bondage. Okay. So that was the answer given by Krishna. Okay. With this understanding, Arjuna started thinking. Arjuna started pondering. Arjuna started thinking about it. What about those people who cannot perform Karma Yoga? How will they go back to Godhead? Who cannot perform Karma Yoga? So what are different types of yoga are there? We'll see that we are going to see the rungs on yoga ladder. Okay. What is the meaning of yoga first? Yoga comes from a word that yoga comes from word the Sanskrit word that is called yoga. Yoga means plus, attaching. Okay. So yoga basically means connecting our soul to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Connecting the soul to the Supreme Soul. That is called yoga. Okay. Many people you will find they are doing exercises. They will say, no, this is yoga. Okay. That is not an yoga. So yoga is not meant as an exercise to save the body. That is an exercise, not the yoga. Yoga means Krishna should be there with whom we are connecting. Okay. So if Krishna is not there, that is not an yoga. Yoga is not meant to meditate and gain powers. No, Krishna. People are doing yoga. They are sitting there meditating to get powers. That is not yoga. Okay. Third, increase our lifespan. People will be doing the pranayam. Pranayam, breathing exercise will increase the lifespan. That is not yoga because there is no Krishna. We are doing it to increase the lifespan, to increase the health. So that is not yoga. Yoga is not an exercise. Yoga is not a power gain. Yoga is not meant to increase lifespan. Yoga means to connect to Supreme. Who is a yogi? Yogi is a person who is always in connection with the Supreme. Okay. So different types of yoga are there. Let's try to understand this concept. Very nice concept. What are the different types of yoga there? Okay. You see, start with Karma Yoga. The most basic type of yoga. Okay. Karma Yoga means we are doing the karma and we are attaching ourselves to the Supreme. Okay. How? We are doing the action, we are doing the work, and we are dedicating our senses in the service of the Supreme. Okay, so we are working, we are dedicating the senses, and in this way we are attaching ourselves to the Supreme. The yoga which we are learning here. Yoga's work should be done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. That work will cause liberation. That work will cause attachment to the Supreme. So karma means work or action, and here we are utilizing our senses. Here we are dedicating our senses in the service of Supreme. So that is called Karma Yoga. And better than that is called Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga. In Jnana Yoga, person is trying to learn about the Lord. So we have different types of literature, Veda, Upanishad, Purana. So Shastras are there. So people will start reading the Shastra and they will acquire knowledge about the Lord. Okay. So they are what they're doing is they are acquiring knowledge about the Lord. And what they are dedicating is they are dedicating their mind in the service. Okay, so they are dedicating their mind, they are learning about the Supreme Lord, they are gaining the knowledge, and that is called Jnana Yoga. Okay, so with Jnana we are connecting to the Supreme. Better than that is the Dhyana Yoga. Dhyan yoga means the person is sitting in meditation and he is meditating on the Paramatma form which is there inside. He is meditating on that form. Okay. So actually, he is in meditation. He is doing the meditation. In Dhyan yoga, person is meditating and he is dedicating the intelligence in the service of the Supreme. Intelligence. And the last or the final or most important is the Bhakti yoga, where the person is engaging loving devotion service in the Lord, to the Lord. They try to love the Lord. Okay. Bhakti yoga, that is called Bhakti yoga. They try to love the Lord and they're dedicating their soul in the service of the Supreme. They're dedicating the soul in the service of the Supreme. So senses are engaged here, mind is engaged here, intelligence is engaged here, and soul is engaged here. Okay. So that is the different types of yoga: karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, and bhakti yoga. Okay. Again, repeating the same thing. So it starts with karma yoga, where detached from the fruits of work but attached to the type of work. So the person is giving up the fruits of action. That is called karma yoga. Jnana yoga, a speculation and search of absolute truth. So reading the Shastra and searching who is supreme. Ashtanga yoga, control of mind and senses by eightfold path. That is called Ashtanga, eightfold path. Meditation only on the Paramatma form. Okay, so that is called Ashtanga yoga. And the last is Bhakti yoga, loving devotion service to the Lord. So these are the different types of yoga. Okay, so you see, elevator or ladder, this concept is there. What is an elevator and what is a ladder? You see, every yoga, whether karma yoga, jnana yoga, or ashtanga yoga, will finally lead to bhakti yoga. They will understand that the supreme person is Krishna and we should dedicate ourselves in the loving devotion service of Krishna. So that is the ultimate thing. When they understand the position of Krishna, they will engage themselves in the loving devotional service of Krishna. So other yoga, you see yoga, karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, they're like ladder, one by one, one by one, one by one, step by step, step by step. A person will be reaching to the upside, different yoga. Okay, but the bhakti yoga is ultimate elevator, the final path, elevator. So bhakti yoga is like elevator. Directly you will go. So that is called bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is elevator. Others yoga are like ladder. Okay. So that is the concept. Ladder or elevator. Below you can see karma kanda. One more concept. Karma kanda. That is called regulated sense gratification. And below that also there is one word that is called animal life. People who are just following their senses. Okay, my senses is saying you should eat this, I will eat this. My senses is telling that I should see this, I will see this. No use of intelligence, just whatever senses say they are doing. So that is called animal life. Okay. Above that is karma kanda. Regulated sense gratification. Okay, sense gratification is there, but that should be regulated. Regulated means okay, you you want to eat these things. Okay, you can eat on Monday, Tuesday, 2 days on a week. You can eat. Other day you should not eat like that. Okay. Okay, you want to achieve something. Okay, this Havan is there. This Sola Somvar is there. You can do this and you can get the result. So that is called karma kanda. Regulated sense gratification. People are still attached to the sense gratification only, but in regulated way. Okay, and after that comes the karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, and bhakti yoga. Okay, so that is the yoga ladder and the concept of yoga ladder. Now we are coming to the cycle of sacrifices. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhavaha yagnad bhavati parjanyo yagna karma samudbhavaha. All living beings subsist on food grains which are produced from rain. Rains are produced from performance of yagna, and yagna is born of prescribed duty. Okay, so there is one cycle is being described. Okay, so let's see what is the cycle here in this form. So cycle of sacrifices. So the person, we as the person, we have certain duty. So we do our duty, and that duty is described in the Veda. Okay, Chaturvarna is there. Okay, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. And according to that, we have duty accordingly. Okay, so we do our duty, and we do duty as how we do duty. We duty as a sacrifice, as a yagna. Okay, and then when we do the duty as a sacrifice, the Supreme Lord and the other demigods are very happy. So they will give rain. And with rain, we'll have grain. And with grain, we again will make different food stuff, will eat. Okay, we'll offer it to Lord, then we'll eat. And then again, we dedicate ourselves to the Supreme Lord with the service in the form of the Veda. Okay, Krishna, Veda is nothing but the Vani of the Lord, the instructions of the Lord, what rules and regulations we should follow. That is called the Veda. So according to the Veda, we do duty as a sacrifice, we get rain, we get grains, living entity, the food prepared, then again offering to Lord, again we are doing. So this is a cycle of sacrifice. Okay. Now the different sacrifice was different. Okay, so this Kali Yuga is like when there are actually four yugas: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So as the yuga increases, the impious nature of person increases. Satya Yuga people were very pious. Kali Yuga the people are very impious. Okay, so the impious nature is increasing as the yuga progresses. Okay, so let's see what are the different types of sacrifices in different yuga were there. So in Satyuga, we take the first yuga, Satyuga. The sacrifice was meditation on the Supreme Lord. How can we perfect the time? How can we perfect ourselves at the time of Satyuga? Satyuga was a time of meditation. People were very pious. They can sit at one place, they can meditate through thousands and thousands a year. The lifespan was 1 lakh year at that time, Satyuga. And people used to meditate for thousands of years. They can sit at one place, they can meditate because they were pious. They were pious. In Kali Yuga, people are not pious. Even they sit for 1 minute, the mind will be here and there. Okay, they cannot meditate. So this is not possible in Kali Yuga, Satyuga. It was made for Satyuga. Treta Yuga, people become little more impious. Okay, so in Treta Yuga, meditation was not the way to perfect life. The way to perform perfect life was perform fire sacrifices. You see big fire sacrifices. Pure Brahmana used to be there. Okay, pure samagri, pure materials for the yajna used to be there. Okay, so the pure Brahmana, their siddha, they will have siddha mantras. They will recite the mantra, and demigods, even the demigods, they will come to to be there in the sacrifice. So pious people were there at the time. So pious samagri were there. Okay. So the yajna was dependent fully on the learned Brahmana at the time. But in Kali Yuga, there is no pious ingredients you can find. Even if you go and try to find pure ghee, it is very difficult to find pure ghee for the yajna. Everything is contaminated. Everything is like um, contaminated, adulterated things. Brahmana, they are not qualified in this yuga. Okay, leave about the other things. So the thing is like that. So performing fire sacrifice is also not possible in Treta Yuga. In this yuga, Kali Yuga, Treta Yuga, it was the way of perfection of life. Then comes the Dwapar Yuga, elaborate temple worship. So people used to have the temples. Okay, the big temples will be there, rules and regulation, how to worship the deities, how to follow everything. And the person who will be worshipping that, those persons will be very pious. Okay, rules and regulations were there, strict rules and regulations were there, and people, they at the Dwapar Yuga, they can follow. So that was the perfect way to do perfect that the way to perfect their life at the time of Dwapar Yuga. It is also not possible in Kali Yuga. People are not pious. Okay, impiety is increasing. Impiety, and in Kali Yuga, the people are very impious. So we need a simple way for the sacrifice in Kali Yuga, and that way should be very effective. A simple way as well as effective way, because people are more impious. So we need more effective way. And as well as people are very impious, they cannot perform all these things. So they need a simple tool, and that tool should be very effective. Okay. And what is that tool? What is the method of sacrifice in Kali Yuga? What is the Yug Dharma of Kali Yuga? Okay. The Yug Dharma of Kali Yuga is chanting on the holy name. Chanting on the holy name. So that is called the most easiest way to attain the Lord and the most effective way also, because Kali Yuga is most pious of all. We need certain very effective thing, and that thing is chanting on the holy name. Okay, when Maharaj Parikshit was there, when it was Maharaj Parikshit was the last person from the kingdom of Arjuna. Okay, Arjuna's kingdom was there in the when Kali Yuga started. So in the when Maharaj Parikshit was there, after that only Kali Yuga started. So Maharaj Parikshit made the Kali Yuga. So the question people ask, the why Maharaj Parikshit allowed the Kali Yuga in this world? Okay, the Kali Yuga is very bad. Everything is impasse. Everything is bad here. Everything is like Kalaha. So why the Maharaj Parishit allow Kali Yuga to be here? Okay, the answer is because Kali Yuga, everything is bad, but there is one very important thing in Kali Yuga, and that thing is just by chanting the holy name, a person can attain perfection. The easiest method to have perfection is there in Kali Yuga, and that is the best thing about the Kali Yuga. Okay, that's why the Maharaj Parishit allowed the Kali Yuga. So that was the thing. So easiest method and most effective method, chanting on the holy name. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32. Yagna is Sankirtan prayer. Okay. So Sankirtan Yagna is the most important thing. Okay. Bhagavad Gita 10.25. Yagyanam Japo Yagno Asmi. So Krishna says, of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy name, Japa. How to do Japa? I'll tell in detail in 6th chapter, but for just for the introduction, I'll tell. So this is the Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We used to chant for 108 times. 108 times. Okay. Before that, we chant the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associate, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this Maha Mantra to us. So we recite his name first along with his associate. So we say, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. One time this, and then 108 times this. That's one round. Okay. So that is the thing. So that was the best renunciation a person can have, chanting on the holy name. 3.19. Therefore, without being attached to the fruits of activity, one should act as a matter of duty, for by working without attachment, one attains the supreme. So Krishna says, yes, work should be done. But how work should be done? Work should be done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. Work should not be done for us. It should be done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. Act as a matter of duty. We should be acting as a matter of duty. Working without attachment, one attains the supreme. Okay, so that was the thing. We should be working, but we should be working for the supreme. So that is the thing we have learned. Then excellent example of self-realized soul, the third part. Very important sloka, this one also. So let's try to understand this sloka 3.21. Yad yad achrati shreshta tad tad evetaro janah ya sayat parmanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Yad yad achrati shreshta. Shreshta means great people. The Shresht, the great people. Yad yad achrati, how they act, achran, what they are doing, their action. Tad tad evetaro janah. Jana means common people. Evetaro means they will follow. So what a great man or the Shresht man in the society, whatever work he does, a common man follow. Whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. Okay. The important word here is action. If a leader is there in the society, he's saying to the followers that we should not smoke, we should not smoke, we should not smoke, and himself is a smoker. What do you think? What the common man will follow? They will smoke or not? Please answer in the chat box. They will smoke or not? Answer is yes. They will smoke because people will follow what a person does. Whatever action a great man performs, it is not whatever he says. Whatever action is performed, whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. Okay. Prabhupada, when you read the purports of 3.21 sloka, Prabhupada gives an example that leaders should be performing the things very carefully because common men are following. Okay. Do you think, now my question to you, all of you, do you think that you are a leader? What do you think? Do you think yourself as a leader? Yes or no? Answer is yes or no. Do you think you are a leader? Yes or no? Simple question. Some people saying yes, most of the people saying no. Okay. The thing is, so it is written, whatever action a great man performs, common man will follow. Prabhupada gives example, leader, who is a leader? Even that a teacher who is teaching a student, he is also a leader because the students are following the teacher. Whatever action he is doing, the people, the common people, the students will follow that. Parents, mother, father, from where the children are learning? From mother and father. Whatever action mother, father are performing, the children are learning. Okay. Prabhupada gives example, the natural leaders are the parents, the teachers, these are natural leaders. So actually every one of us is a leader for everyone. If elder sister is there, whatever action is performing, the younger sister is minutely observing the the elder sister. Okay. The parents, the children are minutely observing whatever action we are performing, the children are observing. Okay. And if you want to change the habit of the children or the child, what you should do is you should change your habit first. Okay. If you think that my daughter should be reading Bhagavad Gita, then what you should do is you should read Bhagavad Gita and you should set yourself as an example for them. If you think, if you want that your children should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you should chant in front of them. You should show them that this is what we are doing. So you should also do. Okay. You think that your children should not use mobile. When I sit in the OPD, I see every child is seeing mobile. Okay. If you want that your child should not see mobile, what is the first action you should perform? Is not using the mobile. Okay. So thing is like that. When you are utilizing the mobile in such a way that full day you are utilizing it and your children are learning from you only. So thing is like that. So we should be setting an example to our children. So as to set an example for Krishna's pleasure to educate the people. Okay. So being a parent is big responsibility. Being a elder sister is big responsibility. Actually, whatever we are doing, we are minutely observed by someone. Someone is observing us. Someone is learning from us. So it is a very big task to become a parent also. Parent means a big responsibility. Okay. The big responsibility for the parents is to make the child Krishna conscious. Otherwise, our children will be like rotating in this material world only, taking birth again, death again, birth again, death again. So the big responsibility for ourselves is to educate the children also. Okay. So that is the thing. To give Krishna to the children, give the knowledge of Krishna to the children. So that is the big responsibility. So whatever action a great man performs, common man follow. And whatever a standard is set by exemplary act, all the world will pursue. The important word is action. And from the action, the word is achrati, acharan, acharya. A person who teaches by his acharan, a person who teaches by his action, that person is called acharya. Okay. So let's move. Act to set an example for Krishna's pleasure to educate the general. You see, Srila Prabhupada, since childhood only, he was a devotee. How? His father was a devotee. Okay. So you see, he is educating the general people. He is making himself an example to save the general people. Last part we are going to see of the soul. Very important. It's an enemy of the soul. Who is the enemy? So he see, Arjuna is thinking, Arjuna is inquiring. There is some force that pushes one to abandon duty and act sinfully. even against one's own will. What is that force? Arjuna is asking, okay, I know that this is correct, this is wrong. I know that I should not do this thing. Still, I am forced to do thing, forced to do the sinful thing. It looks like some force is there who is forcing me to act in the wrong way. Like I'll give you an example. A thief is there. Okay. He knows that stealing thing is bad activity. He has seen earlier the other thief being caught by the police and being punished by the police. He has seen and he knows that whatever he is doing is wrong. He may be caught any other day, he may be punished, but still he does the sinful activity. He does the stealing activity. Why? What is that force? Same thing Arjuna is asking. There seems to be some force that pushes one to abandon duty and to act sinfully, even against one's own will. What is that force? What is that force? So force against one's will. Who is that force? Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what one is impelled to act sinfully, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force. What is that force? That force is lust. Krishna says that force is lust. What is the meaning of lust? Lust means strong material desire. That is called lust. Strong material desire is called lust. So if we have that strong material desire, strong desire of something materially, that is called lust. Okay, and that will act. That will impel the person to act even sinfully, even against his own will. Okay, and to understand that more, Krishna gives 3 examples to understand in 3.38 sloka. Different species have different covering of lust. Some species have thin lust covering of lust. Some species have big covering of lust. Some species have very thick covering of lust. Okay, so Krishna is giving 3 examples. First is fire covered by the smoke. You see this. So smoke is there and fire is there. Okay, so smoke is upside, fire is down. Okay, so fire is there, smoke is there. Small amount of air. So when air is coming on this side, air is coming on this side, then this smoke is gone now and fire will ignite. So very thin degree of lust. Even a small amount of air can remove the smoke. Very thin degree of lust. Second is mirror covered by the dust. We'll see this. So mirror is there and that is covered by the dust. So little bit thicker degree. Now, if air is there, that cannot remove the dust. We have to go and wipe the dust. So little bit thicker degree of lust. Okay. So this one is the thicker, little thick degree of lust. And last is embryo covered by the womb. You see, very thick degree. So even by rubbing, it cannot be moved. Okay. So the embryo is there, it is covered by the womb, inside the womb. So very thick degree of lust. Okay. So that is the degree of lust. Fire covered by the smoke, mirror covered by the dust, and embryo covered by the womb. So 3 degrees of lust Krishna is describing. Krishna, then in the purports you will find that examples also Prabhupada writes. He says, the man or the human beings are the example of fire covered by the smoke. Just a simple association with the devotee, the smoke will go and the fire of Krishna consciousness will ignite. Small degree of lust. Okay. Mirror covered by the dust, beast, animals, thick degree of lust. Okay. Removing the lust is very difficult. And embryo covered by the womb, the example is tree, very thick degree of lust. Okay. So that is the different degree of lust Krishna is describing for us to understand. Where the lust is sitting, lust sits in the senses, mind, and intelligence. Okay. To understand that, we have a concept of the chariot. This body is like a chariot. Okay. And this body is like a chariot. Okay. The horses are like the senses. And the mind is like the reins or the rassi or the ropes which control the horses. So these ropes are like mind. And higher intelligence or buddhi or intelligence is like the sarathi or the chariot driver, which can control the mind, which can control the senses. And consciousness or atma is there, which is the traveler, which is sitting on the chariot. Okay. And he can control the intelligence, he can control the mind, he can control the senses. Okay, so like that. So from this, we have this the level, gradual level. So the matter of the body is the lowest. Above that is the senses. Above that is the mind. Above that is the intelligence. Above that is the soul. You see here also, the working senses are superior to dull matter. Senses are superior to matter. Mind is higher than the senses. So mind can control the senses. Intelligence is still higher than the mind. So intelligence can control the mind. And the soul is even higher than the intelligence. Same thing. Matter is there. Above that is senses. Above that is mind. Above that is intelligence. Above that is soul. If you want to control the senses, control the mind, senses will be automatically controlled. If you want to control the mind, control the senses, control the intelligence, mind, senses, matter, everything will be controlled. If you want to control everything, control the senses, control the soul, everything will be streamlined. Okay, so that was the thing. So now we have learned when we are starting the chapter, a person who is trying to control the senses, but his mind is not controlled. What is that person called? We have seen. What is that person called? Whose senses, who is trying to control the senses, but mind is not controlled. What is that person called? Can you tell me? Yes, correct answer. Pretender. That person is called pretender. Now you understand that we have to control the mind to control the senses. We don't have to control the senses. Okay, like that. Mind, if you control the mind, see, in this chariot example, if you are trying to control the horses directly, very difficult. Control the intelligence, control the chariot driver, he will control the ropes, and the ropes will control the horses. So best is to act at the level of the soul. Okay. Which type of yoga dedicates the soul in the service of Supreme Lord? What do you think? We have discussed that 4 types of yoga. Which type of yoga dedicates the soul in the service of the Supreme? Yes. Yes, everyone is saying correct. Bhakti yoga. So when we are engaged in bhakti yoga, when we are engaged in loving devotional service, our soul is directed to the service of the Supreme. Intelligence, mind, senses, matter, everything is streamlined. Everything is streamlined in the service of the Supreme. How nice. So we have seen the 4 yoga example, okay, where we are attaching the senses, where we are attaching the mind, where we are attaching the intelligence, and where we are attaching the soul. So 4 types we have seen, and now we are finally integrating all things in the last slide, and we are saying that when we are dedicating the soul, everything will be streamlined. Okay, so when we are dedicating ourselves to the bhakti yoga, actually everything is streamlined, every yoga is fulfilled. Okay, so that is the thing. That's why this yoga, the soul, the bhakti yoga is called elevator, and others are called the steps of the ladder. Okay. Therefore, O Arjuna, best of Bharata, in the very beginning, curb this great symbol of lust, sin, by regulating the senses and slay this destroyer of knowledge and self-realization. This slide is very important. This slide is very important. How? Let's see. So Krishna is saying, the lust is there, that is greatest enemy of the soul. How to control the lust? Control the lust in very beginning, in the starting only, by regulating the senses. Regulate the senses at the time only. Okay, so when we are thinking about something bad things are coming in our mind, at that time only stop that thing. Okay, so that is the thing. And this last is called the slayer of the knowledge and self-realization. So we should stop that lust. What is the defeat lust? By ABCD formula. So how we can defeat lust, how we can start a devotional life? This is the ABCD, the simple formula with acronym ABCD, and the most effective formula. I will be speaking about this through whole 18 days lecture. Thing is, A is for association. I already told you. So we have already started discussing about association. Association is very important, very important, very important, very important. We have seen Bharat Maharaj's example. That time also I told you, association is very important. If we want to perform devotional service, devotees association is must. If you want to become a thief, associate with thief. You won't understand when you will become thief. You won't be even able to perceive when you become thief, when you are in association of the thief. When you want to become like a devotee. You want to dedicate yourself in the service of Tulu. You want to understand what is the science of self-realization. You want to understand what is there in Bhagavad Gita. You should associate with the people who are practicing the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. You should be associating with the devotee. Association is very important. Association molds our character. Whatever we are today, that is due to association. When it comes to bhakti, that is due to association. When we start doing devotional service, that is due to association. Why we are doing these classes? Due to association. Someone has told us, from somewhere we knew that there is Bhagavad Gita classes. Okay, association. Devotion start with association. Second thing, book reading, Shastra reading. Bhagavad Gita is there with us. So much vast knowledge is there. So much beautifully described. The knowledge is beautifully described. How to live the life. What is the purpose of life? What is the way should be living the life? What is the aim of life? Okay. We should be reading the books daily. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, so many shastras are there. Basic book to start is the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so book reading, Bhagavad Gita reading, Shastra reading, Bhagavatam reading, that is the B part. C, chanting. I already told you, yesterday I also told you, what is the way to nourish your soul? Chanting, association with the Lord. When we chant, actually we are taking Lord's name and then we associate with the Lord. Krishna tells the Yug Dharma, that in the previous classes, the previous slides we have seen, what is the Yug Dharma in Kali Yuga? Chanting, taking the holy name is the Yug Dharma of Kali Yuga. Most easiest, most perfect way to perfect the life in chanting, okay, in Kali Yuga. C is for chanting. D is for diet and devotion. Diet and devotion. So we'll discuss the diet part in 17th chapter when we discuss the diet, when Krishna described 3 types of diet, okay. Actually, we are daily eating, 3-4 times we are eating, okay. And diet has so much effect on our consciousness and our way of living, okay. So diet is a very effective way to mold ourselves in devotion. How? We will learn in 17th chapter, okay. And devotion services, that the activity which is dedicated for the service of the Lord, okay, like chanting, like doing kirtan, doing bhajan, okay, glorifying Krishna, taking the classes, like Bhagavad Gita classes, okay, associating other people, training other people, giving this knowledge to other people. That is called devotional services, okay. So this is the ABCD formula to start with. These are the things we can start doing from now onwards for making our life Krishna conscious, to start our devotional life. The most important thing, that ABCD formula, defeat lust by ABCD, okay. So with this, in this chapter, we'll summarize the chapter, then we'll take question answer session. So first is Tyaga or action. Which one is better? Arjuna asked, which is better? Tyaga is better or action is better? Yesterday also some person has asked the same question. One devotee asked, Tyaga is better or renunciation is better or action is better? So Krishna tells, Tyaga, a person who is trying to artificially control the senses, but mind is still dwelling on the sense object, that is called a pretender. Then we see the example of Bharat Maharaj, and then Krishna tells about the action. Action is far more better than Tyaga. Then Krishna tells which type of action is better. Okay, action is better, but which type? Action which is performed as a sacrifice, that is better. Okay, so that was the first part. Then we have seen ranks on yoga ladder. We have seen karma yoga, where a person does karma and he's dedicating his senses. Then the Jnana yoga, where the person is dedicating his mind and he's trying to accumulate the knowledge. Third is the Dhyana yoga, where person is utilizing the intelligence and is meditating on the Supreme Lord. Okay, and the fourth is the Bhakti yoga, where a person is engaged in loving devotional service of the Lord and is dedicating his soul in the service of the Supreme. So that we have seen, the 3 are like the ladder, and the Bhakti yoga is like the elevator. Okay, the third part, excellent example of self-realized soul. We see that every person, every one of us is a leader. Okay, so whatever action we are doing, the minors or the children or the students, they are observing us and they are learning from that. So we should be very careful. So whatever changes we want in our children, our dependent, we should be following that change first, then they will follow. Okay, then fourth part, the enemy of the soul. Krishna tells the enemy of the soul, or the greatest enemy of the soul, is the lust. Okay, it impels the person to act even sinfully. Then 3 degrees of lust were there. The fire covered by the smoke, example was human. Then mirror covered by the dust, example was beast or animals. Then the third was the embryo covered by the womb, the example was the tree. Okay, so these three we have seen. Then Krishna tells how to control this lust. Controlling of lust is very easy if we control at the starting point only. So every thought, every action starts with the thought. Okay, any bad activity we are going to do, it will start with the thought. At that time only we stop the thought. Okay, engage your thought process, engage your mind, engage your intelligence in the service of Krishna. Everything will streamlined. Okay, so enemy of the soul. Then at last we have read the most important formula, that is ABCD formula. A for association, B for book reading Shastra, C for chanting, D for diet and devotion. If we follow this formula, we can start our devotional life from here. Okay. So these we have seen. So I'll unmute every person to chant with me once, then we'll take question answer session. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Okay, Hare Krishna devotees. So we'll take question answer. Hare Krishna, Nayar Prabhu, you're here? Yes, you're here. So we can take question answer.
Yes, very much. Yeah.
Yes, so if you have questions, you can put in the chat box. We'll take questions, your questions one by one. Hare Krishna, Radhika Mataji, you are with us? Okay. So, okay, devotees, if you have any question, you can put in the chat box. Prabhuji, if you can read out the questions.
Yeah, moment it comes, not yet.
Okay. Questions are welcomed here. You may also raise your digital hand. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, a small little question I have for you.
Yes, Mataji.
I don't know if this is the right moment to bring this up. Someone had mentioned to me a long time back, I don't know if it's with the ISKCON Wrangler that has mentioned to me, or if it was from the other temple. I was told that if I know the facts that you need to surrender to Krishna, but we know that Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead. But the question to you is, how if our minds are diverting into too many different directions, how can we make our minds and our souls be surrendered to Krishna?
Same thing, Mataji. I told you in the last ABCD formula. Okay. When we associate with the materialistic people, our mind will think naturally in that direction. Okay. So the thing is, when we associate mostly with the materialistic people, our mind won't think in the direction of self-realization. When we associate with the devotees, when we are associating with the devotee, automatically our mind will come. Our mind will be thinking about the self-realization only. Okay, so devotion becomes very easy when we associate with the devotee and perform devotion. I already told you, devotion is meant to perform in an association. Okay, so that is the thing. So association is very important, and regular reading of Shastra is also very important. Regular reading of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. When we read, then we understand what is the goal of this life, why we are here. Then we won't deviate. Okay, so that is a very important thing. This ABCD formula, association, regular book reading, C for chanting, D for devotion and diet. Okay, so that may be your answer, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. One question I have in my personal chat box in Hindi, so I'll read out the question. हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी मेरा आपसे दो प्रश्न है। मेरा पहला प्रश्न यह है कि जैसे कि भगवत गीता में श्री कृष्ण ने कहा कि आप किसी भी आचरण को बार बार प्रयास करके आप जीवन में उतार सकते हैं, परंतु प्रभु जी जितनी बार भी माया के बस में आकर हम कुछ भी गलत करते हैं और हम अपने प्रयास में असफल होते हैं तो हमारा मनोबल टूट जाता है और हम बार बार फिर से शुरू करते हैं, परंतु ऐसा बार बार होने से हमारा मनोबल बिल्कुल टूट जाता है, तो कृपया इस पर मार्गदर्शन करें। अगेन Bharat Maharaj was there. Okay, so he was there alone in the jungle. He went to doing for doing the self realizations for the self realization. Okay, when we started doing, okay, he went in the wrong direction. No one was there to correct. Okay, that's why association is important. When we are in association with a devotee won't let us our manobal go down. Okay, so when we associate with a devotee and when we perform devotion in association, that is the best way to perform. Okay, ISKCON give us a nice association of devotee. When you go to temple, you will find many nice devotees who are performing devotion. And what is our work there? Associate with them, learn from them. Okay, so many examples will be there when we go to temple. Okay, so many examples. You see our temple president, His Grace Namanitya Das Prabhu. Perfect example. Okay, perfect example. His life fully dedicated for the service of Krishna. So whenever we feel that we are getting diverted, okay, we talk with the Prabhuji, okay, we share our problem with Prabhuji, so Prabhuji will guide. That is the same thing. Okay, association gives us the way to perform the devotion. Okay, so association is very important. Devotion should not be performed alone in Kali Yuga. Very natural to go down. Okay, in Kali Yuga. So better to perform in association with the devotee. I have no association with devotee. I joined Satsang of Krishna on YouTube only. Is it sufficient? I already told you, Mataji. Association is very important. Online association as well as offline. If you don't have offline association, you can daily classes are there. Okay, morning Bhagavatam classes will be there. Bhagavad Gita classes will be there. After you finish 18 days, you go to the level 2. We won't be leaving you after 18 days. If you want to perform devotions or if you want to read Bhagavad Gita, all the courses from the ISKCON Bangalore is free. You just want your association. Okay, if you want to read Bhagavad Gita, if you want to associate the devotee, we won't be leaving you. That is for sure. Okay, so from your side, your mindset should be there. We want to associate. We will be giving you association. Okay, so online association is also equally important when we're starting. So you can start with that. Okay, but your commitment should be there. That is the thing. Okay.
Can I add, Prabhuji, something?
Yes, Prabhuji, you want to give
the association starts with 4:30 a.m. Mangalarti,
yes.
8 o'clock Bhagavatam, 7:30 Guru Puja. Evening is also available 6:30. You have choices of all the hours of the day, at least till 8:30 or 9:30. Of course, any class you want to join, 9 o'clock is also available. So time is not an issue. Association at any time.
YouTube channel is there.
Full night. Yeah,
full day there will be classes going on. Some classes going on. We just want what you want. It's full day classes. Some teacher will be taking the classes. You just have to come and join. Okay.
Prabhuji, somebody has messaged me. How will they access YouTube? You're going to put the playlist soon?
I will make the playlist today, Prabhuji. Okay. So all the videos.
Chapter 1 has not come up as yet. Chapter 1. Has it come up?
It is
you
there.
I know.
It must be shared on the WhatsApp group. No problem. I'll make YouTube playlist today. I will share so that devotee. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Full day there will be classes going on. Okay. You want to associate, you want to take the advantage, you can take. Okay. So thing is like that. We have the medium which we can provide you. It is your commitment should be there to associate. Okay. Like that.
Thank you, Professor.
Yes, Prabhu. Kindly share the YouTube channel name. So I'll share the screen and I will tell. Yes, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
That will be good.
No hands are up, no new messages. You're sharing the.
So like this is the YouTube channel.
It's not yet come up.
It is
Not yet come up.
yes, sir. Let it load.
Your share screen, Prabhuji, has not yet.
Yeah, I shared, but it is still loading.
Still loading. Still loading.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's come.
Okay. You see this channel. This is our channel, temple channel. You see ISKCON Radha Govind Temple Mangalore at the rate ISKCON Mangalore. Okay. 48.2K subscriber, 16K videos. You see the videos, so many videos there. All are devotional videos. Yeah. You see this, our class is going on live here. You can see here. Okay. This is our class, Bhagavad Gita, 7 p.m. Chapter 3, batch 35. Okay. Level 2 classes are going on. Batch 35. Tulu level language classes going. So many language classes. Malyalam classes are going on. Temple construction. Okay. Previous lectures, guest lectures, Bhagavatam classes 4:45 a.m. morning Bhagavatam class morning 8 a.m. All our things are here. Whenever class is going live, you will find it here. Okay. So many things are there. Just subscribe to the channel. Channel name is here. Okay. So this is what you need to subscribe. Shall I share this?
Prabhuji, can I make one small suggestion if you don't mind?
Yes, Mataji, please.
At the end of chapter 18, if everyone is interested of joining L2 classes, I can get the link from the BG admin and mentor group, and post that in the Zoom
No.
link.
After they finish the level 1 classes, then only they should join, Mataji.
That's what I'm saying. I know when we finished chapter 18, after
chapter 18,
after chapter 18, I can post the L2 classes.
Yes.
On our WhatsApp group. So if everyone in the WhatsApp group wants to join L2 classes, they can go ahead and sign up.
Yes. One more question I have in first. Yes, Mataji. Okay. So we should, the thing is, after the chapter 18 finishes, we can give them the link to join in the level 2. So that is the basic. So I have one more question in the chat box. प्रभु जी मेरा दूसरा प्रश्न यह है कि so question is in Hindi. So after reading, I'll just tell you what Prabhu meant and then we'll start doing the answer. प्रभु जी मेरा दूसरा प्रश्न यह है कि जैसे कि मैंने सुना कि भगवत प्राप्ति में गुरु का एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण स्थान होता है और गुरु एक सीढ़ी के रूप में आपको भगवत प्राप्ति के मार्ग में ऊपर जाने में मदद करता है। मैं गुरु के छत्र छाया में रहकर भक्ति मार्ग में आगे बढ़ना चाहता हूं, परंतु मेरी दुविधा यह है कि मेरे परिवार वाले मुझे कहीं जाने की अनुमति नहीं देते और मेरे घर के आसपास कोई भी ऐसे गुरु की उपस्थिति नहीं है, तो कृपया करके आप मुझे अपना शरणागत मार्ग इस विषय पर मेरा मार्गदर्शन करें। So Prabhuji is asking that he wants to progress in the spiritual life, but he doesn't have any access to the Guru. He doesn't have any association of the Guru, and even his family members are not allowing the access of the Guru. Okay. So even the family members are not allowing him to do the activities like that. Thing is like that. So when you start a devotion, okay, people won't be favorable, okay, because they do not know what you are going to do. Because of ignorance, they think that you are going to take sannyasa, you are going to leave the family, you are going to go to Himalaya and perform bhakti, okay, so like that. So they will think like that. The thing is, because they are not ignorant, they will try to impose their thoughts on you that no, this is not correct. Okay, I have seen the world. This world doesn't work like that. The world is not meant for doing bhakti. So they will try to convince you with every type of things. Okay, so this is the thing. So it depends on our determination. Okay, they are determined that the bhakti is not good. But what is our take? Are we determined that bhakti is good or not? So it depends on our determination. So two determinations are there. One side, the determination of your maybe family members, friends, okay? They're determined that bhakti is not good. And one side is your determination. Is bhakti good or not? So who is more heavier? Okay, it depends on that. If you are weaker, then you will fall down, you will start following your family members like that. So it depends on your determination. That's why start doing devotional service. Just listening the classes, it won't increase your devotion. When you chant, when you read, when you associate, when we listen to the classes, our devotion increases. Okay, and it will become rock solid gradually. You will find yourself like 3-4 months, 5-6 months. You will become like rock solid. You will know what is the aim of this life. Why I'm here? Okay, why I'm suffering here? So what is my purpose of this life? So that is the thing. So in initial days, try to associate more, try to read more, try to chant more. Okay, gradually it will become rock solid, and no one will can move you from your position. Okay, like that. So that is my answer.
Snigdha Sinha Mataji has a question.
One more question was there. If they have not, they don't have Guru, Krishna will provide. When Krishna sees, it is not like Krishna is not seeing us. Krishna is seeing us. When we try to sincerely progress toward Krishna, when we move our steps toward Krishna, it is said that Krishna takes 10 more steps towards us. Krishna is more eager to meet us. But when we are going away from Krishna, what Krishna can do? Krishna is coming towards us and we are moving away from Krishna. What Krishna can do? Nothing. Okay. So when we take one step towards Krishna, Krishna takes 10 steps towards us. So gradually Krishna will give you the Guru. No problem. You just have to perform your devotional service. Okay. So that is the thing.
There's a question, Snigdha Sinha Mataji. There are Upanishads, Puranas, Ashtavakra Gita, Yoga, and so many innumerable books. Please advise which book should we strive to read and understand, as it's difficult to cover all. She's asking advice for top 10.
I'm giving you the topper book. Okay. The topper is Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Read Bhagavad Gita. You'll understand what is the position of Lord. Then you can go to Bhagavatam. When you read Bhagavatam, so no one can move you from your position. It is said that Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. When you read Bhagavatam, Krishna will be installed in your heart. Okay. But for reading Bhagavatam, you should understand what is the position of Krishna. And that is being described in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna describes his position. What is his position? What is his position in this material? Otherwise, we won't be able, if we don't know what is the position of Krishna, we won't be able to understand Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is continuation from Bhagavad Gita. So when we read Bhagavad Gita, when we finish Bhagavad Gita reading, then we can switch to Bhagavatam. And after Bhagavatam, that is the, you will feel the bliss. What is the bliss in Bhagavad, the devotion when we read Bhagavatam? Okay. So that
especially with 18,000 verses.
And Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is 12 cantos are there. 12 cantos. So many books are there. You will get so many books. Like it will be like you will be reading, and you are relishing the nectar when reading. Okay. So that is the thing. Start with Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita is called as summary of all the Vedas. Okay. The most important book is Bhagavad Gita.
That's
yes.
it. Yeah.
Any input from you?
No questions, no hands as yet.
Yes.
Last call for raising hands or asking a question. Go ahead.
If you have any question, please ask. Don't keep the questions with you. Okay. Any question, please ask. Don't hesitate. We have 3-minute time. Okay. We don't have any questions. Shall we stop the class, bro?
Call it a day.
Okay. So we'll stop the class. I'll just unmute every person, just saying Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Prabhu.
Thank you, Radhika Mataji. Thank you, Muralidhar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
patitanam pavanebhyo